Nils, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and welcome to Move. Is this your first time at Move?
Actually, it is.
Yeah?
I got invited a few years ago, but I never made it, unfortunately. But this is the first time, and I really love it.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a good show in terms of seeing like startups and converging technology, not just auto manufacturers, but more like partners, suppliers, and startups in the space. So it's very inspiring.
There's a real buzz, isn't there?
Yeah, it's different to other car shows.
Yeah,
or
it
mobility
is.
shows. Yeah.
It is. Okay, good. Well, hopefully we'll be back next year as well. And welcome to our booth as well. It's fantastic that you're joining us at the booth this time around.
Yeah.
You're obviously here with Holoride. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about you, give an introduction to everybody who's watching, and tell us more about what Holoride is.
Yeah, sure. My name is Nils. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Holoride. We started the company approximately 6 years ago, originally focusing on passenger experiences, more using immersive technologies like VR and AR. And last year we had a big restructuring using the core of our technology that enables for spatially aware experiences in the car, no matter what kind of media. No matter what kind of device. Our collaboration actually is the first visible result of this new direction, because it's the first product people can experience based on our spatial intelligence tech.
Something you can actually see. So an exciting day, or I should say actually
premiere.
here. Yeah, it's the premiere. Tell us more about why you created this business. Like, what was the opportunity for you? What did you see?
So when we started the company, and it has its origin at a German car manufacturer back in the days, we had the feeling that manufacturers and also mobility companies back in 2015 were not really focused on the passenger and the passenger experience. Especially car manufacturers were very much focused on buyers of cars and drivers of cars, but with autonomous driving on the horizon and also considering like the daily transportation, people take ride-hailing cars, families travel in cars, you have one driver and several passengers. We thought there is so much opportunity space for delivering something for passengers. That was our starting point. And if you look at the solutions, most of them are pretty mediocre, to be honest. So you get better experiences on your phone or on your tablet than you usually get as an in-car experience offered by OEMs. And that was our starting point. So really churning dull car rides for passengers into exciting journeys and making use of the fact that you're traveling the world, you're traveling from A to B, there's so much to discover on your journey. And that was our starting point for thinking about.
So let's go more into that vision then of trying to make car journeys more exciting. When you were thinking about that in the early days, 6+ years ago, what did you envisage? Like, what did you think was going to be the way to transform that experience?
Yeah, so we always had the vision in mind that the fact that you're traveling, incorporating environmental data, location data, and especially the motion data of the vehicle and everything the sensors are giving you, and they're currently, or most of the time, they're just used for ADAS solutions or something like parking solutions, and that this information can be used to enhance the content that is being delivered to passengers. So giving it some relevance, motion and location relevance in that specific moment of the journey. That's where we started. And our first solution was an in-car VR solution. So where you can put on VR goggles that are wirelessly connected to the car, and you're traveling from A to B, but as a passenger, you're traveling in a virtual world from A to B. Everything was perfectly in sync with the motion of the car. Unfortunately, VR and also AR is not yet at a consumer adoption point. So it's you still, most of the people don't own VR headsets yet or AR headsets yet. So it still needs a little bit of time, but the underlying tech that we have been building enables this real-time synchronization of content on devices. And when we did our repositioning last year, we thought, okay, this intelligence we have been building can be applied to other use cases, but always we had in mind, okay, how can we enhance the ride from A to B?
So we've talked a little bit about I demoed it earlier yesterday, and it's amazing.
It's
and
fun, isn't
it's
it?
really good fun. And obviously there are lots of different ways that you can interact with it. But for those people who aren't familiar with it, tell them what the experience is. So talk us through what the experience looks like, how it works, and what a passenger could experience.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because spatial intelligence is such an abstract concept, and making something location and motion aware. So having an actual application out really helps. So what we have been building together with Valtech is an application that gives you a city tour. It's your AI audio travel assistant. It's currently designed as an in-vehicle infotainment application that can run on the Android Automotive system. So if you're on a journey, you jump in as a driver or a passenger, you select your interest, let's say history or culinary aspects or culture aspects, so you can choose. And then the fun part is you can also choose the tone of voice this experience is being delivered to you. So either you can have it in a very professional way, or you can have it in a fun way, or even tailored to kids.
Which is what I demoed yesterday. London nightlife for kids, which was the version we used yesterday, which was absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, that's fun. So you choose those two, and then you can also type in the passenger's name, because then the experience becomes even more personalized. So, and then you take your ride, the ride you would take anyway from A to B, and it automatically gives you a tour, like you have your personal tour guide sitting next to you, and he or she tells you what you're about to see, what's in your environment, where there are sites or locations you should check out. And so it feels very, very natural. And it's really like having your private guide sitting next to you.
And it really does feel natural. I mean, sometimes if you were to take the traditional tour guide type tour, it feels very stilted, it feels very slow, it feels very boring,
and it's a fixed route.
And it's a fixed route. Whereas this feels like you have someone sat next to you in your ear telling you the sights and sounds of your journey.
You can drive anywhere. It's like it adapts to where you're driving. You don't need to put in a destination necessarily. So you can just drive, and it tells you what you're about to see or what's near you. And it can incorporate all the different aspects, not just the location data, but also like real-time information like traffic or weather. We incorporate this, or the motion of the car and how the driver's driving. So it also can make little jokes or references to where and how you're going. So it really feels real.
It does feel real. It really, really does. We'll talk more about the industry as a whole and where you see Holoride, but I'm fitting into that. But I'm also just want to talk more about future applications for this. So you see this at the moment as for family car journeys, for individuals traveling through a city. But what are the exciting new applications that you see for this down the line? So I heard it and I immediately thought about, its usage if you're hiring a car in a new city that you don't know. It'd be incredible if it was integrated. Or a running app. I already have the Nike running app, for example, but again, it can adapt itself to the length of my run and the speed of my run, which is always slow, I will just add. But imagine if you had the similar sort of thing. For that, it'd be fantastic to go on a long run and to have that companion in my ear telling me about the streets of the city if I'm in a new city. So it feels like there are so many real world applications of this. Where do you see it going?
There are. And just imagine this audio travel assistant is just the first application built on this spatially aware tech. But just this application alone, as you said, rental car companies, you're renting a car in a different city, you haven't been there before, you drive to your hotel or your venue where you're supposed to go on business trips, private trips, whatever, and you just have this running and it tells you what you're about to see. You exit the car smarter than you entered it, actually.
Exactly.
Good application. Travel companies, they could offer this to their customers when they have a travel app. It can run in the car, but also can run outside the car. Think about even retail companies, hospitality companies, everybody who wants to deliver an exceptional experience to its customers can take the blueprint we have developed together and customize it to his or her needs. So it can be tailored to the tone of voice of your brand, or content-wise it can be customized to what you want the guy to talk about or point out because it fits your brand. But as you said, there are gazillion opportunities. I personally, what I see, I travel a lot on business, and then whenever I'm in a city for an event or a business meeting, I don't have much time. And my usually a journey looks like I arrive somewhere in a new city, then I go to my hotel, I go to the venue, and filling this time in between. So if I would take an Uber, I would be more than happy to just upgrade my ride for a few pounds and just listen to what I'm about to see on my way to the hotel.
I love the idea of having it in an Uber. That would be incredible. It would also break that awkward silence that you often have in an Uber between you and your driver.
And just think about Uber and Lyft. They have totally different brand personalities, how they deliver experiences to their passengers and riders. So the experience in a Lyft car could be more tailored to the Lyft experience, so, more fun, more playful, different, pinkish. And then you have Uber as a more professional-oriented service.
So you can really tailor to your brand needs, to the tone of voice.
Time of day. I mean, you might be more interested in nightlife and bars and restaurants at, let's say, 5 p.m. So as the clock turns 5, the experience for passengers can also change, and you can curate certain aspects. So, as I said, infinite possibilities. It's a nice canvas. It's ready to deploy and ready to be customized. And since it's all built on the Android automotive stack, it can be easily deployed in most cars, but also you can deploy things maybe on the phone just.
Or wearables.
You miss some information then, but
Amazing. One of your team yesterday was saying that this is likely to replace the radio, the in-car radio.
I totally agree because even for platforms like Spotify, this could be something because you have music streams, but what about, and they have podcasts, they're big in podcasts, but think this as a live format you can additionally book and run on the same platform, and you mix music, and if there's nothing interesting to tell with something that is then interesting, and you just mix it in like you have your personal radio channel. Exactly.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, they are.
Then let's talk more about the industry and the opportunity here. So how do you define the modern in-car experience, do you think? Obviously, your business model is completely defined around it. What do you think is broken in the current model that needs fixing? And let's also talk about customer adoption of this. So we know that as a passenger in a car, we talked about Uber, I would love for that narrative to be happening when I'm in an Uber, to get to know a new city, or even to get to know more about the city that I've lived in for a decade. That's great. But most people are going to get into a car and sit on their mobile phones and just scroll aimlessly and doom scroll for whatever. How can we make this experience so good that it replaces the traditional
format? And the traditional habit. So I think one of the core things one has to understand, once you had connectivity in cars, the common idea was, we need an app store in a car, and the solutions that were delivered to passengers or customers in general were simply mirroring the content of the phone or your daily life already. So apps that you have on your phone were then natively integrated into the in-vehicle infotainment system. This is a questionable strategy, because if you have it on your phone already, why should you have the same thing in the car? What's the added value? I get it for drivers very often. It's more safe, it's more convenient if you have like a native integration. But then Android Auto and Apple CarPlay came along and pretty much did the job of most of the things you have in your daily ecosystem of phones, that it's simply being mirrored to the screen. So smart solution. But now that we enter the age of more software-defined vehicles, there are some possibilities that you finally make use of the fact that you are traveling in a confined cabin in a very cozy space most of the time, and the context is what makes the magic. There is such a big opportunity for car manufacturer, because they have so many sensors in the car. You know where you are, you know how you move, that this is being incorporated in the content that is being delivered, or the apps and agents that are being delivered to. So they are really contextual aware. And that makes it more relevant to the journey. And it makes it, because of the precision of the data that is available, it makes it also more relevant than potentially experiences on your phone alone, right? So that the daily experiences. So there is a there is a massive opportunity that for in-car experiences in general, that they become spatially aware, spatially intelligent, contextual aware, and by this create way more relevance. So you want to use it because it's considering your habitat you're in right now. It offers massive opportunities for car manufacturers to finally monetize the information they have anyway. It's a great addition for brands to have something to catch a very captive audience, because usually you have nothing else to do. And yes, of course, you can scroll your phone. However, there's the effects of motion sickness kicking in. Very often, many people can look at their phone while they're in transit. Statistically, 1/3 gets severe motion sickness, and the second third gets motion sick or dizzy after like 10 to 15 minutes. So sometimes visual content is out of the equation. And then you have radio, podcasts, audiobooks. But what if they would be infused with the location information? It makes it more relevant. So that's the idea.
I also think fundamentally, there's nothing more tragic than seeing a family in a car.
Yeah.
And everyone's scrolling on their mobile phones.
Exactly.
And actually, this is a really beautiful way to connect everyone again. I remember when I was a child and we'd do long journeys and we'd listen to, I don't know, Pippi Longstocking or some like 17-hour audio book, as a family. And then you'd get out of the car and you'd talk about it. And it was something that you shared together. And I really love the idea that this is taking people, even though it's a digital technical solution, I love the idea that we're finding different ways to connect people again. And actually, as you talked about, on business trips, often we get in a cab, we're straight down on our emails and we don't see any of the world go by. And actually, how lovely to be able to put your devices away and just absorb yourself
and just listen to
in the city and just listen and learn and be present. So I think fundamentally there's a beautiful part of reconnecting with our environment, but also each other through this as well. And that's a great thing.
And just imagine, it's not just the audiobook. If you say the family's traveling, everybody's listening to the same audiobook. But what if the fact that you're traveling to a vacation destination and you learn already about the things that are relevant to your vacation or that you see on the journey, and it's not just the linear audiobook you're listening to, you could also do elsewhere, but it's really making or use of the fact that you're traveling. And this, I think there's a magic. We all remember the car games we used to play. And now there's also an opportunity to make this completely different with location information incorporated and have a new type of car games coming up for families. So,
I would love it if it came as standard in vehicles going forward. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
The magic sauce behind it, what you need is really an engine that helps you process location and motion data in real time, feed an AI, for example, that then talks to you, or you can talk back. So you build an application on top of an LLM and TTS, but this needs to be fed in real time by location and motion data. That's the part we provide, and then of course we jointly build an app on top of it, but this is where the magic happens.
That's a nice segue. Yeah. How does it work? Tell us more about how it actually...
Exactly like this. So we pick up the real-time car and location data. And when we worked on VR solutions in the car, everything had to react in real time to the motion of the car and be synchronized with the environment in real time. So we did the fusion of the car data with the device data that was on your head in real time and incorporated everything, because you wanted to sit in this virtual environment and being transported through it, and every motion of the car needed to be reflected in VR as well. And if you have just a little bit of latency, people get severe motion sickness because then you have this. Everybody, I think, had this feeling already. The other way around, if you used VR and you were playing a dynamic racing game and you didn't have any haptic feedback, people get dizzy because their brain is expecting some haptic feedback and it was not there. The other way around in the car, if you synchronize the content in real time with what your body feels, then you don't get motion sick. So from this solution, we were basically able to take the kernel we have developed and now apply this to other use cases. And that makes it so So smart, intelligent enables the real-time synchronization. And that's where the magic happens, because you don't want massive delays in your audio experience. You want to be told what's next to you, what are you about to experience, and then it feels natural.
But then you're reliant on things outside of your control to make sure that experience is good. Are you?
Yeah, so that's a good.
So how do you deal with that?
The next thing is we developed let's say, a creative expert schema. It's like, imagine Lego building blocks of stories and content that you want to generally talk about. And it's being assembled on the fly, and that's where we can easily collaborate with brands or OEMs and define what their application should talk about, in which tone of voice, which information it should pick up. What if there is nothing interesting in the surrounding? What else can we talk about then? So you assemble this screenplay or audio play with building blocks, and it's being assembled in real time. And then of course, you can also mix in current events. So if you pick up, there's something interesting happening in the city right now, then it can be incorporated once it's being defined. So
really nice. And maybe that's a nice place to talk about monetization opportunities for brands.
Yeah.
So what do you see going on there? I'm imagining you driving past a Starbucks and Starbucks saying, pop in for free coffee if you're on.
Sure, you can easily do this, but also you can, if you know you have someone if you have a customer app, for example, let's say Starbucks, they have different locations. You could incorporate this into the customer app, and whenever they're on the go, they learn about things the Starbucks brand wants to facilitate. So yeah, of course I can think about local coffee culture or
amazing.
So, and even some history aspects, and maybe tie this to specific locations.
There's a huge marketing opportunity there.
It's even more interesting for restaurants. If you have like local recipes, you can talk about where the ingredients are growing, and so they're fantastic opportunities to really develop narratives that always are interesting and fueling your brand's narratives or topics or themes you want to talk about in a very lively and very not advertising way.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you can offer, once you know they're close by a specific location, you can say, by the way, if you go in now and you show your app, there is a voucher for you and you get a discount. Of course you can do that.
But even wider than that, there is a massive marketing opportunity genuinely for brands to use this. Like, how can we use this for a specific proactive marketing approach, taking your users on a tour of a city, or taking your users to an event, or if you're running an event, a big kickoff event or launch,
buy a ticket,
or take your audience on a trip there first. I don't know, there are so many different ways that brands could engage with this.
Loyalty programs. So there could be digital items at specific landmarks, and if your car passes by, then you can also get an audio cue. You just collected this item. It shows up in your app. If you collected 5 of them,
loyalty points. And what about gamification? I'm thinking of Pokemon Go.
Of course. Our heritage is gaming, so of course we think a lot about gamification. But as I said, the possibilities are infinite, and the good thing is the blueprint is there. So if a brand, OEM, or whoever is interested in utilizing this, there's also the commercial metrics behind it are also very nice, because if you compare it to anything else in the car, if you want to reach the captive audience in the car, whether it's radio commercials, sponsoring podcasts, integrating your ads into the in-vehicle infotainment system, this is a pretty costly thing, because everybody knows it's a very captive audience. Compared to this, a service that really provides value, enhances your brand narrative, or you have gently tied it into a more broader story, and comparing the cost to it is way more efficient. It's like factor 5 or 10 more efficient, cheaper, and you reach people in a more engaged way. So this is something where I see also, just for plain advertising or marketing, a good opportunity. Sure.
It certainly is an opportunity, although we all know that on all of those apps that we know and love, Amazon Prime, for example, I pay a subscription to Amazon Prime. I expect to be able to watch a program without adverts. Now they've introduced adverts, and suddenly I'm halfway through, I'm at the cliffhanger of a story and an advert popped up. So it does spoil the experience. So it's always a balance, isn't it, of being able to find new revenue streams, but whilst not spoiling that experience for the consumer.
But if you think about a brand that has maybe travel as their major theme, then this comes very natural. And
there are some ancillary opportunities there.
Yeah, and the tie-in comes very natural.
When you start a business like this, which has an infinite number of opportunities and applications, how do you make sure that you stay focused on the here and now and what we're trying to solve right now?
That's a very good question. So when we did the restructuring of Holoride, we decided we focus on our spatial intelligence engine and the SDK connected to this, so that it works flawlessly on the go and that you have a very, very good tool set, easy to use tool set, so that you can develop these ideas in a quick and efficient way, right? This is what we're focusing on. And then we partner, like with you guys, where we say, there is a specific idea, a specific product that we jointly develop, and then we sit together and develop it. And now we have a white label blueprint that your team is offering to your partners. So this is very beneficial because we work together. However, we can focus on what we do best, and we can inspire people and tell them and help them to build those applications. But we are not all building them by ourselves. We are focusing on what's important to fuel those experiences. And maybe tomorrow someone comes along and says, I want to enhance in-car gaming. Great. You can use our tech. We help you to pull out those applications, but we still focus on developing and keeping our kernel like as smart as we can.
Our core as good as it can be. What was it that brought you to Valtech?
Pardon me?
What was it that brought you to Valtech?
Oh yeah, so it goes back to last year. I had, with one of your colleagues, I had an initial collaboration talk on, hey, can we do something together? And then shortly after we went into this massive restructuring, and then I called him by the end of the year and said, hey, we might have something. It's not what we originally talked about, but we might have something that we can explore together. And then Peter and I started the conversation before Christmas, and then we reconnected at CES because we were attending CES with our new solutions. Our website is still the old stuff, the VR stuff. We haven't updated this. So it was very fresh because we have been developing this for a few months, and we're at CES more in a stealth mode, showing this to selected partners, asking them what they think of it. And then we connected with your team also Denny was there, and we connected at CES, and then we said, hey, why don't we do something together? And then we started the project, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun to work with your team. It was a very, very efficient way to circle ideas back and forth and come up with a product in like no time. And this was really good to see your expertise in car integration and Android automotive and in-vehicle infotainment, and all this expertise building automotive grade applications, and then having our spatial intelligence engine where we jointly defined then, okay, what should the demo talk about, and what tonalities and what do we want to talk about. And then we came up with this framework and we plugged it all together, and it's just an amazing experience. It's so great to see the people getting into the car, getting out of the car, and being fully delighted, because the quote I heard most is like, okay, everybody talks about AI, everybody talks about the software-defined vehicle, but what they have experienced with our joint solution, they have never seen or heard something like this before. And this is like the best thing that as a feedback you can get, because people say, okay, this is new, and it's a very, very hands-on application of what's possible today that provides lots of value, is lots of fun, can be customized. So it hits a lot of buttons where the industry in general has major pain points. And I think that makes the collaboration so fruitful.
And we mentioned we had the demo here today.
Yeah.
People looking at this video won't be able to see, but it's just behind where our camera is, and it's been a constant stream of people listening today. And I think people read all the information.
Yeah.
They hear from you what it's about, but it's only when they put those headphones on and they hear how magic it is that they realize the true potential of this. Thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun, and I'm looking forward to continuing.
Enjoy the rest of Move.